A German poet, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, once said, "Man is made by his belief. As he believes, so he is." And so, what he meant by that is that a person's belief makes up everything that they are. And based upon their beliefs, they act. And so they believe, they do. And thus, that is how we judge people. People that we esteem, we most likely know them because of what they believe in, what they stand for. And so some of our role models have often been the people that have held to beliefs that we find admirable. And so religion, therefore, carries crazy effects because religion is, in essence, what people believe in. And so for me, it is important for me to know the beliefs of everyone in my environment so that I'm able to relate to them, so that I'm able to understand them, and so that as a Christian, I'm able to talk to them and evangelize to them and really get on the same level with them as human beings. And thus I've decided to talk about the topic of religion in Oklahoma because at the time when I chose this topic, we were in Oklahoma and going to college at Randall. And so therefore I want to talk about the religion, the state of religion, the history of religion, and the outlook of religion in Oklahoma today. And so Oklahoma, as we know, is a state that has been heavily impacted by Native American tribes that were forced to move there on the Trail of Tears hundreds of years ago, or at least like 100 or 200 years ago. And so Native tribal traditions defined religion for the natives until about the early 1800s. So if you know, we had the Spiro Mound building, we had Cherokees, the 5 tribes, and that really defined religion up until the early 1800s. And when the early 1800s come, you get the first Christian adherents, which were probably Roman Catholics, and they were found among the French trappers or the Osage allies that they had. And so after that, you start to get a ton, and I mean a ton, of missionaries moving to Oklahoma to do work among the Indians. Specifically, Baptists and Methodists thought that it was necessary to send many missionaries to Oklahoma and work among the 5 tribes. And so therefore, within the 19th century, the 1800s, there were many missionary journeys and missionaries that came over to Oklahoma in order to evangelize to the Indians. And so that process continued throughout the 1800s, and it was very successful. Many people were converted despite issues among the issues of slavery and hot topics of that day. The Christian influence still remained very vivid and very effective. And so the Baptist and the Methodist were the most prevalent of those missionary journeys, but the Baptist had the most growth and influence of any denomination or religion in Oklahoma thus far until today. So that is also a cause of many numerous Baptist colleges in the area. Dramatic departures, though, from this norm that we've had in Oklahoma of being very religious and very Christian. In the last quarter of the 20th century, there were many departures from this norm, with many ethnic migrations, like the Vietnamese and other people coming to Oklahoma, has affected the religious profile of Oklahoma. The state's larger cities now provide homes to Muslims and Buddhists and the like, people that have not been a part of Oklahoma in the past. And so as a result of that, today the religious outlook of Oklahoma is, as it stands, that 69% of Oklahoma are Protestant, and that was part of a survey that was taken in 2014. And so 69% of Oklahoma claims to be Protestant, and mostly Southern Baptist. Has had the most impact on Oklahoma and continues to. The second largest number is 18%, and that is a group that has no faith, has not claimed any religion, and doesn't wish to claim any religion. And so that is the second largest religious outlook in Oklahoma. 8% claims the Catholic faith. And so a very little amount, but an amount nonetheless. And then you get down to the very little amounts of 1%, which is how much of the population of Oklahoma is Mormon. 2%, which is some other religion like Buddhism, Hinduism, whatever it may be, but very small amounts. So many of those religions are bulged into that category together. And then 1% of people that just don't know what they believe in or are ignorant of what they want to believe in. And so that's the current state of religion in Oklahoma. And so as we can see that in the 1800s and really the 1900s as well, Oklahoma was very religious and very much Christianity based. Recently they have drifted a little bit from that, and in the larger cities especially, many don't claim to have a faith, and so recently that's been affected. And so just as missionaries in the 1800s had work to do, so there is still much work to be done in Oklahoma, as though many might know about faith in Christ. 18% at least don't even claim to believe in have any faith or religion. And so there's still work to be done. And specifically to me, this is really important because it's the environment that I will continue to be in at Randall. And I just want to end with a verse that says, "The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few." And so, though there is much to do, there are few to do it. And there's much to do in Oklahoma, as you can tell based off what I've just talked about.